kids, children, adults, grandparents, people of all ages. You might be a cat. You might be a dog, or anything in between, or an inanimate object. This weekend, I decided to experiment going on the freeway / interstate. And after doing that, and this isn't the first time I've driven on an interstate per se, but this particular interstate, after doing that, I'm never doing it again. Ever. Even if my life depended on it. And it becomes perfectly clear why almost on a daily basis in the news you hear of some sort of car accident there. Well, now that I've driven on it, it's clear. Why? Because there's a bunch of selfish jackholes that drive on it. A bunch! And people that just don't know how to drive or to pay attention to look over to see cars are coming on. Right off the bat, I'm going to merge on there. Guess what happens? I'm getting right to the point where I need to get in there, change lanes, move over. And guess what? Some jackhole in the middle lane moves over right to where I need to merge and almost sideswipes me, and I have to slow down because these jackholes didn't even care or pay attention and moved themselves right where I'm supposed to go. They didn't even care I was coming on. So, then after that I had to floor it to get back up to speed fast because of course there's other cars coming that also don't give a crap if you're coming on or not. And then I get on that, and now it's time to go on to the next little interstate to get me where I'm going. And you have to merge onto it. So going around the curve, getting ready to come on. But guess what? I'm following a semi, and it's one lane. Oh, great. So I'm going around the curve slowly. And of course the semi doesn't seem to want to move it. A semi, I know semis normally take a while to accelerate, but they were not by any means going as fast as they could be going, you see. And so I'm stuck behind them with one lane, and I'm having to try to get on there with, once again, cars coming and no one moving out of the way to let you in. They're just kind of like, well, too bad, suffer. We're out of luck. We know that you won't have any room to get on, but that's how it's going to be anyway. So that was fun and exciting. So anyway, somehow managed to get on, and of course then guess what? Now on the next, I stay on that right line, and here comes some cars coming on the next ramp, so I have to scoot over real quick because they're all come flying on like bats out of you know where. But anyway, I eventually made it to where I can get off the interstate back onto the regular city street. That was also fun because guess what? There were no signs, there were no lights, there were no yield signs or anything, so I don't know if I'm supposed to stop, go, or what, especially when it's dumping onto a main street that cars drive down. So here I am stopping, and another car just goes zipping right by me, doesn't even stop. I don't know if I'm supposed to stop or not because there are no signs at all. So, I'm not doing that again. Period. And it also reminds me of, or gives me yet another reason why I am not a city person. Even though I live in a city, I don't like it, and I don't want to be here the rest of my life. Eventually, I don't want to move, I don't need to necessarily move long ways away, and I can still work in the city, but I don't want to live in the city. So, one of these days, goodbye city. I'll go to a small town, and sure, might have slower internet, possibly. Not as much places to go and see, but you know what? For those of you that know me, you know I'm a boring person anyway, and don't do anything but sit in this chair all day, as I'm doing right now. So I don't really care if there's any places to go or not. And so there. I'm just a boring person. Deal with it. That's how I am. Anyway, so yeah, the freeway is not free by any means. It is evil. And there's a lot of idiots that drive on it. And if saying the word idiots offends you, stop this video right now, unsubscribe if you're subscribed to me, and run away. But anyway, I thought I would, and I know there are going to be some people who are going to say, oh, your city you live in is not the busiest city and biggest city in the world. Oh, you should see our freeways out here. If you think yours is a walk in the park, these ones here are much more difficult, much more congested. You know what? I don't care. It doesn't matter. The fact remains, I don't like it. It's irritating. It's a hazard. And it won't change my opinion any. I don't like the city. I'm a boring person that wants to live in a small town of less than 10,000. That's how it's going to be. Plus, did I mention, in some cases, cheaper housing? So, you know, a house here for a 1,000 square foot house probably be about 120,000. Out in a smaller town in this same state, probably about 40,000. And in some towns, maybe 60,000. Except for the ones surrounding nearest to the city, are still probably about 100,000 or so. But anyway, why? Oh, and let's not forget property taxes here are doubled what they would be in a smaller town of a house the same size too, of course. So anyway, enough of my experience. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind driving on highways. Highways are fine. Interstates / freeways, well, this one in particular anyway, Now, there's another interstate here in this town that I've driven on before and I don't have any issues with. It's not as nearly as crazy and chaotic as this one was. Anyway, and those of you that know me know what I'm probably talking about, and the ones that don't know me probably don't know what I'm talking about. But sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about either, obviously. So anyway, this is Nerd Ngong, and I do approve this message. And this wasn't a computer tip, but I'm a nerd, and since I am a nerd, I am talking about my experience and my own tip to you. So the freeway is not free, and the city is evil. Okay, anyway, bye-bye.